In response to the question how to lead a meaningful and fulfilling life, the mythologist Joseph Campbell gave us a simple formula. He said, "Follow your bliss." In other words, discover what you enjoy doing and do it. That, I think, is a fantastic starting point for a journey that's going to lead us to a meaningful and fulfilling life. It gives us a zoomed-in, small picture view of what to focus on moment by moment to transform our life for the better. But I don't think that's enough. Because if we focus exclusively on the zoomed-in, small picture view, on what we're doing in the present moment, then we're liable to drift and get lost. Lost in the details. Lost as we wander over ground we've already covered. Lost down rabbit holes that become a maze of distractions. What we need is something that will give us a big picture zoomed out view, something to aim towards to keep us on track. What I'm talking about is formulating a life-changing aspiration from the activity that we like doing. A goal that has a specific time frame to achieve it, 3 years for example, which, like a guiding star, we can refer to every time we feel lost or uncertain about how best to proceed. That's the second key part of this process, a process that involves self-transformation, unfolding your highest potential, and attaining a meaningful and fulfilling life. But even if we have these two key parts of this life-changing process figured out and in place, it's still not enough. Because while it is essential to have a shining star to guide our endeavours and our life in general, an aspiration is too abstract and distant to get to grips with every day. There's too much of a gulf between where we are now and the fulfillment of our aspiration, which makes it difficult to decide which practical steps to take hour by hour, day by day,
to carry us towards the realization of our aspiration.
Which means we actually need a third key part of this process to successfully navigate the journey.
A key that bridges the gap between the zoomed-in view, which is the activity that we love doing in the present moment, and the zoomed-out view, which is the grand aspiration that we've set our sights upon. And that third key part of this transformational process involves breaking our aspiration down into a series of bite-sized chunks, into a series of practical projects to be precise. Each project will have its own distinctive character and purpose, and completing each project will take us significantly closer to the realization of our aspiration. Each project can be aimed for and completed in a manageable amount of time, say between 1 and 3 months, before we move on to the next one. And when all the projects have been completed, like reaching waypoints on a planned journey, then if we haven't already realized our aspiration, then we should be so much closer to it that it feels within our reach. And a sustained effort in that direction will surely carry us the rest of the way there. It's this third key part of the process of creating a better life that has been hugely overlooked in today's ecosphere of self-help, life coaching, and spiritual teachings. And so I intend to focus intensely on designing and fulfilling practical projects that will take great strides towards realizing an aspiration. And the best way I know to do this is to illustrate by example. And so I'm going to be using the example of my own life as a template. I'm going to follow this process and walk this journey step by step and show you it in action. The successes, the failures, and what I learnt along the way. And I'm going to encourage those who watch these videos to join me on this journey, to figure out the activity that you enjoy most, to formulate an aspiration that's in line with that activity, something that can be achieved in a set time frame, like 3 years for example. And then to design a series of projects that will carry you from where you are now to the realization of your aspiration, at which point you will be a very different person, living a very different life. In the next episode, I'm going to state what the activity is that I like doing. I'm going to state what my aspiration is in line with that activity, and I'm going to talk about the projects that I'm designing that will lead me from where I am now to the realization of my aspiration. So between now and then, maybe think about what it is that you enjoy doing, and try to formulate that activity into an aspiration that has a fixed time frame for achieving it. And once you've got those two parts of the process in place, then we can delve deeply into packaging our chosen activity and aspiration into bite-sized practical projects that are like waypoints on the journey that is our self-actualisation. Until then, thanks for joining me and see you again soon.
ZAP, cosmic